Peace and blessings. Look, there's this constant debate within the black community. The man should be holding down the fort. He should be paying all the bills. The 50-50 scenario is such an insult. Well, I think we should implement some data in this argument. In terms of how salaries are distributed, it's Asian American men first, white American men second, Hispanic American men third, and then African American men fourth. And the median income for African American men is $56,000 a year. Now, look, if you're that type of man that's been taught like that, maybe you want to change this perception or this idea entirely. Look, we live in an economy where two incomes will always be better than one. And I feel like for a culture that is approaching or projecting to have a net worth of zero by 2053, I think it's going to take all of us to reverse this. I mean, it's something frightening for me. It's the reason why I teach my series, Let's Be Smarter with Money, hoping that we can reverse the direction that we're going in. But this idea that one person or one gender should be holding down the fort on their own, I feel like it's honestly the reason why, or part or contributing to why we're approaching this zero net worth by 2053. Look, we live in a time now where women are thriving in the workforce. I read a statistic some time ago that said 50% of the net worth in this country is owned by women. And I think women today are far more open to contributing to financial obligations than they were some time ago when it was just about men being the breadwinner. Look, if you can pay your bills, that's one thing. But if you're not prepared for an emergency, if you're not investing for your retirement, how are you really helping yourself by trying to carry this burden alone? In my opinion, two incomes will always be better than one. And I think it's not healthy or a strategic approach to have any gender just doing it on their own. I feel like if there's able-bodied human beings in that household, everyone should be pulling in this economy. Again, the average American isn't prepared for a $400 emergency, and oftentimes it's not the financial obligations that kind of put us in the hole. It's not being prepared for that situation where your car might get towed or the water heater breaks down, etc. So it's those things that kind of knocks us off our financial foundation. So if you are that man that's carrying the burden alone, if you're not prepared for the emergency, if you're not contributing to outside of the 401k, contributing to your retirement funds or being able to create passive income with that salary, it doesn't make sense for you to hold that burden alone. And if you're a woman who feels like 50-50 is an insult, then maybe you should try to do all that on your own and see how far you get. But I'll conclude by saying two incomes will always be better than one. Peace and blessings.